Good morning. Happy Friday and day 14 of 21 Days to Transform through your passion, purpose, and power, aka your soul. Good morning. My name is Karina Rick and I am streaming into 3 places this morning. So if you're watching us on YouTube, hello, you're very welcome. This is kind of new to us going to YouTube. In my beautiful group, and that recently renamed Stars and Shadows. Come back to that in a minute, but hello, special people in there. And thirdly, on my Facebook page, because the world needs what we're talking about. More people that are able to step into their passion, purpose, and power. Oh my word, can you imagine what a better world it would be? Your life would be amplified. You would feel better. Everyone would feel better. It's just... we will carry on. We will continue to work until as many people as possible are living in true alignment, authenticity to their soul, their passion, purpose, and power. What a beautiful way to start Friday. And Friday is the day of Venus. And I've got a Venus update for you. I know that we talked about Venus earlier in the week. I am doing a recap today. So it's day 14. So like I said, on day 7 and day 14 and day 21, I'm going to sort of wrap up where we've got to. So today I'm going to give you a summary of all the things we covered from day 8 until now. But I'm also going to give you an update, like I said, on what the delightful Venus is doing for us in the skies right now, and how that celestial energy could be an amazing boost to you right now. And then, of course, let me mention Stars and Shadows. So Stars and Shadows is the free event that I'm running online next week. I'm not streaming publicly. That is only going into the group. So you need to register to join that. The replays will be available. We're starting at 8 a.m. We've got about an hour every day, Monday through to Friday next week, with a bonus coaching session Thursday evening. And that's just about to going deeper. And we're talking about so much on these short bursts that we have over the 21 days. But next week is much more intense and there to really help you walk away with a clarity, confidence, an assurance, belief, all in yourself, in how you can create the life that you are called to, that passion, this destiny that we're talking about a lot. And there's no surprise that this is kicking off at the start of the new moon eclipse in Aries. So phenomenally patent time, all about traveling to your highest expression of you. That's what eclipse season is about, and the nodes of fate. And we're going to be talking about that. In fact, I'm going to do, so I normally do a 9:30 live for the 21 days. Actually, Monday, we've got a super edition so that I can really focus on the new moon eclipse. And that is going to be happening at 11 a.m. So just a little different, but it's eclipse energy. So let's roll with it. And we'll probably go longer than 20 minutes because I'm going to talk to you all about how that can really help you, what to look for, some practices, how to use this energy for you, and that journeying, that soul path that you want to or are following, North Star, your true North Star. How do you keep tracking to that and using the energy? And eclipse can get a bad press, a bit like Mercury retrograde, can get a bit of a bad press. But that's not, we don't buy into that. We look under the bonnet and give it the truth that it deserves, and we honor the eclipse season. So that's what I'm doing on Monday. And of course, you can join Stars and Shadows for the free event that's only happening in the private book group. And the links are in the description, the feed, etc., all around this video. So Venus, Friday, Venus Day. Today, so I'm going to do the recap, but let's just start with the celestial update, the celestial muse for today. And that is that Venus has moved into Aries. And oh, I love that energy. I really love that energy. That is all about how you are living for you and your self-worth and your value is not related to roles and relationships that you have. It's that it could be tricky. There's a balance thing there. There's social expectation is loaded with social convention and conformity, but it is encouraging you to go beyond that. You know, so harnessing the Aries piece, which is about doing this for you, doing it for your highest good, which you are supported in. You know, the universe wants you to do that. It's not selfish. It's the social norms that are stopping you being your true self. And Venus, goddess of love and abundance, is that's love of you as much as it is for everyone else. Really, really curious and timing around the smack bang in eclipse season, because the eclipse season is on the relationship axes, Libra and Aries. So that's another sort of another tone in our, you know, in our painting, in the tapestry that we're weaving. That's another color of silk thread that we're putting into it. So there could be tension, but you know, go beyond the tension. If there is tension, if you know that you want to be doing something that you're not, that is for your ultimate highest good, that is what your soul is speaking to, that is what you know, feeds you, that you know, you can feel it from your heart, you can feel it from your soul, then that is for you. And it doesn't have to be with angst and aggro. If things are coming up for you as you are reflecting on that, then that is, reflect on the rub, you know, the tension, the knot that comes up. That's the bit that you want to go inward on. And we'll come back to Mercury retrograde in a minute, so hold that thought. But this Venus in Aries, Venus moving into Aries, is all about how you can step into you and what you desire, not and become the person that you're destined to be, not the person that is fitting in a box made of roles, rules, and relationships. So happy Friday. Let's hold that thought. Hold that thought. That's just a bonus. That was just an update of what's going on today. And of course, I had to share it. So let's do the recap. So we started day 8 talking about identity. And I should just press pause a moment. All this is so loaded. When you take, there is a thread, divine channeling thread here that takes us all. Everything I'm talking about is about how you can transform your life, following your soul path on your soul journey. It's about you feeling more you because you're doing more what lights you up, you know, your passion, more that is aligned to your purpose. You know, that's something that's bigger than you, and then stepping into your power, your feminine power, your divine feminine power. And like I said, the world would be a better place. It's better for you in your life, but it'll be better for everyone. And we started with identity on day 8. And that was the reason I mentioned that is because if you're transforming, if you're changing, if you're evolving, if you're growing, if you're developing, then that means there's something, you know, there's a gap. There's where you are now and where you want to get to. And it's understanding that where you want to get to, and it's not about the destination, because when you get there, then there'll be something else. So of course, but you know what you're striving for, that person is not the person you are today. It can't be by definition. And the problem we have is that we try to become something new, but by staying the same person that we are. That's the difficult part. That's why we need stars and shadows to work. We need to work within the stars and shadows to uncouple us from all the things that hold us back and all the things that could derail us. So identity we talked about, and it's so really the takeaway question, the summary, the recap here is, who is the person you are becoming? And how can you live that identity now, today, now, right now, in the moment? Because the sooner you do that, the sooner everything else that you're manifesting associated with that identity, that future version of you, will happen. That's the universal laws. We talk about manifesting magic in Stars and Shadows free event happening next week, by the way. So, and I should say also that the crucial thing with identity, before we move off of that, is that it is formed from your belief systems deep within your subconscious. So anything that you think you can't do, anything that you don't think you're ready for, when you don't think you're enough, all of that is based on a belief system. And that's what we need to tackle if you are struggling to step into that future version of you. And it's not about waiting for things to happen so that you can slot into that future version of you. That is not transformation. You want to be stepping into it now. Of course, that will grow and evolve, and you'll do it. You'll do it with more aplomb. You'll do it with more passion. Do it with more effect. But you have to start being that person today. That's what we covered on day 8 in identity. Day 9, we went off peace. So I did have a plan to talk to you about values, and of course, it's nice. It was a Friday. It would have worked very well with the Venusian energy. But I was called to talk to you about Medusa, and the reason for that is because Medusa is an asteroid. There's a placement that is relevant to this eclipse season. So there's a rationale. There's a want. There's there's a knowledge in that takeaway. There is some value from talking about Medusa and introducing her to you. But I also wanted to put a different perspective on the myth. And and it is a part of breaking down the patriarchy, and and I think that's possibly more of a reflection on sort of my purpose, my passion. But it was an interesting provocation. So instead of wanting her, tuning into the story we've been told for millennia that she's punished by Athena, I'm going with the energy that Medusa is now what is known for, especially from an astrological perspective, and it's that really, 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 really hidden stuff. The shame or the guilt or the stuff that you don't want other people to see about you, and appreciating that. If Medusa took herself off and withdrew herself, and the apparent outwardly ugliness, the monstrous nature that came about after Poseidon had claimed her, maybe that was an inward reflection. I'm not going to go with Athena made her a monster. I think, and I presented to you that maybe Medusa, that was her inward version of events, her inward truth, and then she played out her life based on that. And for me, the clincher is that when she is slain by Perseus, her head is taken back to Athena, and Athena puts it on her shield to then be protected by Medusa once again. So that's what. So I'm just 2 fingers up to patriarchy, actually, and just because I love a cat fight, I'm going to rewrite history. Who am I to rewrite history? But nonetheless, it gives you that's pause. It's provocation, and it's in tune with what we're talking about here. Is if you want to go deep on shadow work, what is it that you are actually hiding from yourself? The whole point that you can only see Medusa through the mirror, can't look at her directly. What does that say about you and yourself and any of the karmic baggage? Because we're talking in eclipse season. What is it that you could release from yourself? What could you let go in terms of beliefs necessary for the identity piece that we just spoke about, but also how you can step into your ultimate power? How are you giving your power away by hiding yourself away? You're not. How are you? Where do you see yourself? Maybe I wouldn't want to be as dramatic as monstrous, but what are the parts of you that you don't like? Where does that come from? Journal on that. So really, it was the deepest session we've done, Medusa. Um, yeah, and she's a goddess of wisdom, and she was iconically beautiful before her so-called punishment. I think, as I said, I think that came from internal. Okay, so then we talked about Mercury retrograde. So swing around that. I haven't been doing these on the weekend, but that was the Friday, and then this Monday, we had Mercury retrograde, the first of Mercury going retrograde in 2024. He will do it a fair few more times, and now, yeah, absolutely another myth busting message that I wanted to share was that Mercury retrograde gets a bad rep. It's not about all doom. It's not all about everything going wrong. It's not about tech crashing. It's not about travel plans being cancelled. It's not about falling out with people because you have an argument. Mass media will most definitely put that spin on it, but Mercury retrograde, in its simplest form, is an invitation for you to rewind, go back over. And it's literally because of the orbit, angles and angles of our planet and Mercury. It looks like Mercury's going backwards as we're coming back round, but it's not. It's just the angles. And so it is that invitation to press rewind. What is it that you have over the past few months sort of set in motion that maybe would benefit from going back over? So your plans, your transformation, what is it that you have set in motion that maybe you could revisit? Now, it doesn't automatically mean it's wrong. It's just an opportunity to go back over. What have you missed? So kind of retracing your steps. It is about going inward, and that introspective, reflective kind of practice is very much the vibe of a Mercury retrograde. And it's interesting in an Aries sun, because that's very much about the rah 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 go 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 energy. And Mercury retrograde is asking you to press pause and just go back over a plan. We're going to stick with the Aries, more kind of like rah rah rah. There is a warrior angle to it. It's governed by Mars. It's time to regroup and recalibrate. So we're going to stick with the military terms. Let's regroup and let's recalibrate. All vital for your ultimate success. So it doesn't have to be attention. You don't have to feel like it's attention or obligatory to one step forward, 5 steps back. I encourage you not to take that kind of perspective, because you're going to limit yourself. It's a time to regroup, time to recalibrate. How could this be even better is the most beautiful essence of Mercury retrograde. Like I said, no doom around here. That's not how energy works. So what can you revisit? What will serve you better? What potentially did you miss? And it's all about you on that soul path. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful in the middle of eclipse season. So the question there is, how can you express yourself more aligned and more authentically to true you? What might you need to revisit? If you were to press pause, what would you want to be reflecting on? And give yourself permission to just go inward and be introspective, and don't succumb to kind of a popular view that things have to change. Things have to be wrong in Mercury retrograde. That's not the vibe at all. Then we talked about the power of words, spells, spelling, spell casting. So this is a slight tongue in cheek, but I love it, and I'm going with it. It was Mercury mischievousness coming out for me as well. Is that, yes, I'm fully aware that we're talking about spells. We're going to be talking about witchcraft, and I adore that, and I'm more than happy with that. More than happy with that. But it was more to do with the power of words and the overlay with spelling. I've got young children. There's spelling tests every Friday when they're in school. They're not this week. And we're asked quite a lot, how do you spell such and such a word, mummy? So the concept of spelling is is a big deal in our household right now. And it's kind of like the spelling is that kind of it's the ingredients that you put together to then make up a word, well, to make up a sound, and to make up a word, then to make up a sentence. And it's all about expressing yourself. So perfect Mercury retrograde vibe coming through. And it's magic, when your children are learning to read, isn't it? Or if you remember you learning to read, actually it's a light being switched on. All of a sudden, a whole realm is available to you. And it helps that creative expression, helps with understanding, helps with learning and knowledge and wisdom and all those beautiful things. So there's that kind of view of spelling, and then there's the witchcraft and spelling and spell casting. And I wanted to bring those together from the point of view that words matter. What you say matters, again, strongly related to the identity piece and Mercury retrograde that we'd already covered this week. And it was asking you to think about affirmations, think about how you speak to yourself, the way in which you speak to yourself, because words matter. And my sort of the point about the spelling, the overlay, is that what you say and how you say to yourself will play out. That will cast a future version. That will cast an event. So it is, if we want to take it as witchcraft, go for it. If that fuels you, go for it. And it is that kind of this will happen based on how you speak to yourself. And it's kind of, and we can take it right back to the corporate boardroom. And we can talk about, Henry Ford's quote, if you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. It's that kind of concept. How you speak to yourself is going to play out. So that was the essence of the session on spelling. But to give you something practical to take away, affirmations, make sure that they're positive, they're present, make sure that they're tied to a positive emotion, not running away from a pain point, and visualize them and journal them. That's how you make the most of affirmations. And then we moved into the transition that happened on Tuesday, which was Venus. Was it Tuesday? I've lost track of time. Venus in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces, which is a really interesting harmonious angle. And that's obviously bringing together the energetics, I said, of wealth, love, abundance, self-worth, values, and then the mystique, sitting in the unknown, soulmates, creativity, being able to see something more spiritual, because if both of them in Pisces and Neptune is the kind of the ruler of that gig, is that you might be able to see a higher spiritual angle on what you're working through, because we talk about the veil being thinner and things are in Pisces. So it was about harnessing that. It was about how to focus on how you feed your soul. How do you connect to your heart and your soul? Beautiful, beautiful practice of meditation and reflection, journaling, of ponder and wander in nature. How can you connect more deeply to your soul and your heart? Where can you be more creative? How can you be more expressive? That of your truest self, again, beautifully linked and timed with Mercury retrograde. What are you dreaming of? And what are you letting go? What could you just let the tide flow away? That's very Neptune and Pisces. So that was the essence of that transition. Venus in Pisces working with Neptune in Pisces. And it's about, and Neptune, of course, is that it was perfectly linked to this whole conversation at 21 Days to Transform through your passion, purpose, and power, because Neptune is very much about that bigger purpose, that's something bigger than you. Like I said, that spirituality piece. It's about being supported by that. It's about being closer to that. And then Venus is about that love and the passion and wealth and abundance. So bring that. It's your passion and it's your purpose to give you your power. It's divine timing. So, and then yesterday we talked about self-leadership is the start of self-care. And it was, that was, I wanted to share that with you because I wanted you to step into your feminine power as a leader, as a warrior queen, if you want to bring on that energy. It's you're going to need to lead yourself. And whether you've got bad experiences of leadership from the workplace or not, and I understand if you have, by the way, fully understand if you have, but it's about just parking this because they're a limiting belief. If that's in the shadow of someone else, it's not you. So what is it that you can form? How can you shine your light brighter? And you're going to need to lead yourself. Self-leadership is essential if you are tracking to your North Star. So how do you do that? And how does self-care even come into that? So self-care is going to give you resilience. It's going to give you self-belief. It's going to give you assurance. It's going to give you confidence. It's going to give you that vision. That's going to help you continue on your journey. Absolutely essential. Absolutely essential. So that's, and so we'll talk about, how can you bring in more self-care into what you're doing? If you hadn't contemplated yourself as a leader of your own destiny, journal on that. What comes up? If you've got bad experiences, then journal on that, because it's not about shying away from it. If they're hidden in the shadows, by putting a spotlight on, they're not hidden anymore. And that's the glory of shadow work. So that's the recap. Intense, huh? Yeah, we cover a lot. We cover a lot. So I just wanted to remind you that Stars and Shadows, the free online event where we go deeper into traveling on your soul journey, understanding celestial energy, understanding goddess energy, understanding what's holding you back. You know what you want. You can feel that there's something more that you're capable of, that you are here to do something more. Whether that's changing career, whether that's coming out of a career, whether that's living a completely different lifestyle, you're putting one foot on the accelerator, but there's also one foot on the brake. And I'm going to help you take that away so you can actually ascend to that highest expression of you. That's what it's all about next week. It's free. You just need to register. Otherwise, you won't get access to it. And I should also see you Monday, which is being more broadly streamed, which is on the special about the new moon eclipse. So take care of you. Have a super, super Friday. Happy Venus Day. And I will see you on Monday. Take care of you.